And you're in Texas, so give us 3 issues and why you're actually running, because obviously you are not in the easiest state for any Democrat to win, let alone a leftist progressive.
Well, number one, it's environmental justice, and that comes along with the Green New Deal. As many of you have followed me on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, you may have seen that the reason why I care so much about the Green New Deal and environmental justice is because I live in a sacrifice zone. I live literally 6 blocks away from ITC, which holds a lot of the petrochemical industry, refinery chemicals, and we live essentially in the belly of the beast of the petrochemical industry in Texas. We call this area the Petro Metro. And all of the petrochemical industries are situated, all of their CEO buildings are in downtown Houston. And if you all remember, during Harvey, we flooded, there was a lot of emissions that were released during the hurricane. Y'all may or may not have seen my posts of me rescuing people as the floodwaters were rising. You may or may not have heard during ITC that I evacuated my family, and I formed a environmental justice coalition with other environmental activists in the city of Houston to mobilize the people, to have town halls and forums to inform them of their rights, provide them with legal counsel if they needed it. We also brought the needs to the people, the needs of the people, to the county commissioner's court so that they can better implement safety protocols to ensure that the petrochemical industry, if there is another one, because we know this is a ticking time bomb, there's another petrochemical industry disaster, that we know how to better prepare our area. It is unreasonable to have such a huge area full of refineries and even fertilizer plants, and there isn't even a level 1 trauma center near the area to care for if there is massive casualties. And because I've worked in healthcare, I'm better able to understand and triage a situation, not just look at the symptom, but look at the ripple effects that it would have in our communities. So the Green New Deal is important to protect the workers in the refineries. It's better to implement jobs to transition the petrochemical industry, the fossil fuel industry, to a green economy. It would stabilize the economy locally and statewide, of course, nationally and internationally when it comes to foreign affairs. It would bring some, if not a lot, of equity in our areas and infrastructure and good paying jobs, unionization of jobs, prioritizing unions and local businesses to ensure that they get the contracts before the corporations do. So this is a huge deal for me and for the people of Texas who have not seen something like this before that would impact them directly, rather than having to be unemployed because the petrochemical industry is not a stable industry. A lot of people find themselves on the other side of the unemployment line. And Medicare for All is another one that I campaigned on in 2018. And I have firsthand account of how the healthcare system works. I have firsthand knowledge of the insurance industry because I was also an insurance agent. I have firsthand knowledge on patient care, and I am a patient and a mother of 4 kids. So to live in the wealthiest country in the world and not have the most basic human right, as healthcare, like every other developed country in the world, and to see this kind of poverty rate and the death, the mortality rate in this country is abominable. It's ridiculous to be going through that. Just the other day, I found a lump in my breast, and sitting here not having health insurance, wondering, what am I going to do? How am I going to seek those services? And wondering, how long can I prolong without having a screening? That's pretty scary for just me. And I can only imagine what other people go through when they do not have healthcare. And a lot of us don't have it. And with Medicare for All, Senate Bill 1129, that guarantees that we will have access because it will be affordable, because it won't cost us a damn penny. And another one, of course, would be ending all the wars, ending the war economy altogether. And that is important to ensure that we are no longer in a position of poverty that causes our youth to go into the military, which we know far too often that happens, and putting us in these endless wars that perpetuate the climate crisis And we all know that these wars are being coordinated and orchestrated for the Earth's resources in countries that are predominantly Black and brown and different religions.
Yep.
You don't ever see us invading Canada. You don't ever see us invading Denmark.
Yeah.
So, we're pushing these economic sanctions in Venezuela and and in Iran, and we don't need this kind of escalation of our military and imposing those sanctions.
Yeah.
There's another reason why I support fair trade deals.
Yeah. Well, I
know I've covered a lot.
No. That was the three. We said we got a universal health care, a Green New Deal, universal health care, ending all wars.
Medicare for all, yeah.
Medicare for all.